Hello there. My name's Valencio, the resident voiceover man here at Studio Channel 84. A little birdie tells me that there may be particular individuals that want, and I quote, less bullshit at the start of the Untitled Trek show. Well, I'm terribly sorry to disappoint you, but we have about 12 minutes of bullshit coming up, especially for you. Please bear in mind that today's episode is recorded remotely. Sounds you may hear include, but are not limited to, bumps, shuffles, digital noise, kitchen cutlery, farting, dog barking, and minor BDSM. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode.
Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Shitshow. Its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before. Fuck this, I can't be arsed anymore. Bloody ruined it. Fucking Tom, fearing little bastard, always doing this stupid fucking
You know, you probably shouldn't do that.
Why?
No, I don't really have a good reason. It just creeps me out.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. It just looks like a giant tube of purple gas to me.
Sometimes it kind of looked like something's in there, but maybe my eyes are just playing tricks on me.
Maybe you should stop staring at it. Anyway, come and sit down. You've been super quiet all day. What's wrong?
You haven't heard?
Well, that's a fucking stupid question, isn't it? There's shitloads I haven't heard. I didn't hear my alarm this morning. I didn't hear you take a crap this morning. No, wait, that's a lie. I did. I didn't hear the tree fall down in the woods.
We have trees?
No, Rob. It's a saying. Like, if a tree falls down in the woods and there's no one around to hear it, did it make a sound?
Where have we got trees? Deck 6?
Deck 6? No, you're such an idiot sometimes. It's about things making noises when you aren't around.
Can you show me where the trees are, please?
Shut up, you twat.
Alright, bloody hell, I just wanted to see where these noisy trees are you keep going on about.
Wait, shit. The Arboretum's on deck 19. I'll take you for walkies later. Just look, mate, tell me what's wrong.
It's Ensign Core.
What about him?
I can't believe you haven't heard. I'm really sorry to be the one to have to tell you.
Right, hang on, no, you're worrying me now. What?
Well, he died yesterday.
Fuck, how? No, wait. I bet it was pissing around with that idiot Ensign Styles again. If I told him once, I told him 100 times. Don't play with Trilupian candle swabs when playing poker with a dinkle snapper.
I know, I kept telling him the same thing, but did he listen?
No.
But anyway, that's not it.
So, what was it?
Well, he teleported, didn't he?
Teleport. Firstly, it's transported, not teleported. And secondly, so what?
What do you mean, so what?
Well, was he holding an orchid?
No.
Yellow ore on his boots?
No.
Ooh, I know. Was it an energy distortion field, causing the creation of a doppelganger who gets left on a planet for 8 years and now discovered again, but is actually now evil and murdered him?
Oddly specific, but no again.
Well,
I told you, he used a teleporter.
Transporter! And so bloody what?
Well, it kills you, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Well, okay, sometimes it does, but not all the time. And I saw him this morning having coffee with Ensign Flower.
You saw the new court, not the old court, not the cool, handsome, used to be in a band court.
You, my friend, have been staring at the purple smoke thing for too long.
He used a teleporter yesterday. That means he is dead.
No. It means he transported his molecular structure from one place to another.
No, he got Control C'd, deleted, then Control V'd. It is not the same.
Yes, it is.
Dude, if I walked through that door, I'm still me, but on the other side. If I teleport, that's a new me over there. It's not the same me, it's a different me. I might look the same, I might sound the same, I might act the same.
God forbid.
But the person on the other side is not me. It's a copy, a fake. A fake of a fake of a fake of a fake to the power of how many times I'd said, "Computer, teleport me to the next room."
Affirmative.
Shit.
So hang, let me get this straight. So you think that when someone is transported from one place to another, the person that comes out of the other side is a completely different person?
How the fuck should I know? I'm only 30 seconds old.
Finally. Right, the news is on. Apparently they have that android guy. What's his name?
Valencio.
Oh, that's it, Valencio. Reporting on the protests over on Deep Space Nine, I think, regarding the cancellation of Lower Decks.
Ugh, old me loved that show.
Hello, Starfleet. Growing tensions at the Save the Lower Decks rally today. We take you there now live to our resident Deep Space Nine correspondent. Valencio, how's it looking over there?
Thank you, Rachel. It's absolute pandemonium here on the station. Protests have started escalating, and security teams have now been mobilized to help keep the peace. Whilst the protests seemed to be peaceful at first, tensions soon rose as Quarks started selling Klingon Chechluth at buy one, get one 1/4 free. I was able to meet with Admiral Chesters here earlier today, and here's what she had to say on the matter. Admiral Chesters, welcome.
Hello, Valencio. Lovely to see you again.
And you, Admiral. Thank you for giving your time to speak with us today.
Of course.
Now, Admiral, not one to shy away from some of your recent controversies, it's good to see you come out and speak to us openly on what appears to be a very unpopular decision from Starfleet.
Controversies?
Well, the Pomfar incident at the Starfleet Inclusion Seminar you were hosting on Delta 4, the failed Tribbles for Teens initiative, the Cardassian Four Lights ceremony you held on Vulcan, and...
Thank you, Valencio. I get the point. But I still stand by my Tribbles for Teens initiative. Teaching young members of our community to look after lower life forms is an integral part of their learning.
Admiral, half of Nimbus 3 had to be evacuated for the safety of the planet's inhabitants.
As you'll know, I've been quite open about my disagreement to that course of action. Now please, let's get back to the matter at hand, shall we?
Absolutely. Now, it's been well documented that the popular docuseries Lower Decks, which follows the everyday happenings of Starfleet personnel on the starship Cerritos, has become one of the most streamed entertainment programs of all time. Can you explain to our viewers the reasoning behind Starfleet's intervention in the filming of the series, and why you have come to the decision to force the docuseries to cancel their future filming schedule?
Great question. Now, it wasn't an easy decision for any of us. No one loves a good TV show more than me. But you have to understand, the security threat a show like this poses in these terribly uncertain times is just astronomical.
Please everyone, let's keep this civil. Now, Admiral, is it true that the real reason for the show being shut down isn't only due to a vote by the Council of the Federations of Planets, or to any perceived form of security risk, but more that, in fact, on that very show, you were caught on camera in the background fraternizing with an ensign?
Excuse me, Valencio. You do realise there is no evidence to prove that that person on camera was actually me?
Am I correct in saying, though, Admiral, that you were in fact stationed briefly on the Cerritos during filming whilst getting return transportation from your shore leave on the planet Riser?
I'm afraid that information is classified.
Please everyone, keep it down. Admiral, surely you can understand the frustration people are having over what is a blatant misuse of power.
Get your hands off me.
Please everyone, just calm down.
Security!
Bloody hell.
What did they expect? Lower Decks is brilliant.
I know, there just isn't anything like it. Who'd have thought a documentary following the daily lives of a lower decks crew on a starship could be so entertaining?
Always made me proud to be a lower decker myself.
Same.
Well, at least now, with the show being cancelled, Tendi might have time to respond to your messages.
One can dream.
Maybe cut it down to a couple a week, though. Don't want to come across as desperate.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Ensign Tom, please report to Counselor Bensley for your scheduled session.
Ugh.
What do you need a counsellor for?
Ugh, it's mandatory. After that incident with the gelatinised gloop becoming sentient when being exposed to Neelix's Alpha Quadrant worm surprise from the replicator.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
Anyone exposed to that pink residue has to undergo 3 hours of PTSD assessment.
I didn't get offered that.
Oh, that's probably because you didn't have one of its tendrils shoved down your throat and under your flies from the inside of your trousers.
Oh, dear God.
Exactly, right. Well, I'm off. Do me a favour, move that glass. I'm getting anxious with you leaving it at the edge of the table like that. Anyway, hang on. Who let you have a glass anyway? You always break them. I thought you were banned.
Oh, stop being such a fuddy-duddy. It's not my fault Starfleet can't just make a normal mug. They have to make these stupidly elaborate things with these tiny baby handles.
See you in a mo.
Ugh, this is boring. Where are my headphones? Ah, there they are. Fuck! Bollocks! Shit! Can't let Tom see this. Where's the mop?
Containment breach. All security personnel to Deck 13. All non-essential staff, please return to your quarters until further notice.
Oh, bollocks. Oh, did you press record, TJ? Have you remembered to unmute Karen?
I'm meant to unmute Karen? I thought she was just there and we just didn't speak about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been here the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Shit, I didn't mute her, did I? Oh dear.
It's meant to be the voice in our heads, the conscience.
Oh, God.
It keeps us on track, keeps the politics out.
That really
picked
could
the wrong
explain a
person
lot.
Yeah, she was in charge of the beat machine in that episode the other time. she had to go home early that day because her hand just hurt from all the time she had to keep pressing the buzzer.
Repetitive strain injury. It's been a long time since I've had RSI from pushing the button.
Oh, he's got the laugh track. Right, this is a serious podcast. This is the Untitled Trek Show. None of this variety show. Yeah, none of this variety show nonsense. All your messing around and comedy bits. This is serious stuff here. We talk about serious things,
Like
Are you
politics.
super serious?
such as. We'll start with Karen because we always start with TJ. We always leave Karen till last. So this week we'll go, Karen. What sci-fi have you indulged in this fortnight?
Well, I have actually I'd forgotten about this when you texted me yesterday to ask, and I only remembered this morning. I actually spent about 6 hours watching Mystery Science Theatre on YouTube over the weekend.
What a
And it's
show.
like, when there's nothing else to stream and you've caught up on everything, you can guarantee a good laugh from Mystery Science Theatre. It's brilliant. I think it was Robot Holocaust was the one that I watched from start to finish. Absolute classic. It's like
I can't remember.
email versus the robots.
Is that the new Netflix version or is that the original?
So they do like a forever-a-thon on YouTube, but this was a Joel
cool.
episode, so it was one of the older ones, but with Larry, so like this 91-ish era, I think.
Brilliant.
But yeah, really good. Loved it. Yeah, always good for a giggle. But it was like He-Man running around in his little skimpy man leotard made of animal skin. Then there was some weird Amazonian women that didn't trust men, and they lived in a post-apocalyptic Holocaust landscape where robots had taken over and the Dark One was in charge.
There's a whole Futurama episode based on that.
Is there?
Yeah. They crash land on the planet, they find the Amazonian women, and the Amazonian women are led by the evil...
Snoo Snoo!
It's the Snoo Snoo
it's
one,
Snoo
yeah.
Snoo.
Yeah, Death by Snoo
Death by
Snoo.
Snoo
Oh,
Snoo.
no.
I want to go and
Must
watch
have been where they got the
Futurama
idea
now.
from. I don't think there was much Snoo Snoo in Robot Holocaust. Lots of scantily clad people, though, male and female.
Ooh.
Go on, Tom. We've been watching. Sorry, we're remote recording, aren't we? So you might hear noises in the background for everybody.
Only sci-fi I have watched this week and last week. I've finally watched. Well, I say finally. It's only just come out. I've watched the first episode of Doctor Who, the new Doctor Who.
We're halfway through.
Which really threw me because if you go to IMDb, it's not under Doctor Who. It's under Doctor Who.
What?
Yeah, it's so I was expecting to go into the Doctor Who IMDb profile, scroll to like series 17 or 18, whatever it was up to, and see the new episodes there. Nope, they've just restarted it as its own Doctor Who page. So there are now 2 Doctor Who entries.
Right.
I'm guessing it's to do with Disney, but anyway, no, I watched the first episode. I enjoyed it. I think that's pretty much all I'm going to say about it because I know we're going to talk about it in the variety show episode. I enjoyed it. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to be too negative because there are a couple of bits that I'm thinking I would have liked to see. But yeah, that's the only sci-fi I've done. Unless you consider Garfield at the cinema sci-fi.
No, I don't.
Good, because it was shit.
Yeah. Which Garfield is it? Is it a new one?
It's a new Garfield film.
Oh, okay.
With
yeah,
everybody's favourite current voice actor, Chris Pratt, playing Garfield.
Yeah, there's that meme, isn't there, that Chris Pratt's ruining everyone's childhood, isn't there?
He was not a bad Super Mario.
He was a great Super Mario. I thought he got a lot of stick. And I didn't mind him in the Lego movie either.
Oh, I love the Lego movie.
Yeah.
I will not accept any bad words about the Lego movie. Because everything is fucking awesome.
That's the R-rated version of that song, is it? Everything is fucking awesome.
Right, that's happening.
Yeah, okay, that's the next song. Yeah, we're going to talk about, I think you just said, we're going to talk about more about Doctor Who on the Variety Show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm halfway through it. I'm really enjoying what I have. And as the experience you've had on IMDb, I couldn't find it on the iPlayer. I literally wrote Doctor Who, and it wasn't coming up.
Oh, that's weird, because I went to Disney Plus because I'd been told it was on Disney, and it's not on Disney Plus, but I found it on iPlayer straight away.
I went on the iPlayer, but it wasn't front and centre on there.
No.
I had to search for Doctor Who, and even then it wasn't the first. It kept just showing me all the David Tennant ones. I was like, well, no, I want to watch the new ones. And yeah, the first half an hour, really have enjoyed it. I think I'm going to really like this guy. It really helps, especially when I saw him as a Ken in Barbie. That made me really happy when I was like, oh, that's the Doctor Who, brilliant. And I think I might have said on Friday, I really love the special that they did with him. But, you know, I'm a sucker for a musical and there's some singing and stuff in it. So, yeah, I think that's really the only sci-fi. Oh, no, that's a lie. Well, that tells you how much I'm going to enjoy this one. The second part of Rebel Moon, part 2.
Oh, so I've not seen the first.
Have you seen it, Karen?
Part now, yeah, I have. Yeah,
you finished the second part.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Is it Star Wars?
Yeah, is this Star Wars? Yeah, I get that feeling. Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
You
it was
wish it was.
beautiful. It was beautiful. Like, you know, the special effects and everything was amazing. And, you know, who doesn't love a story about rebels trying to fight away the evil dark forces and yada yada? It was all right, you know. I don't think I've recommended it to anybody, though. That's probably not a very good review. It was pretty to watch.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same. And the same with the first part. I was like, I enjoyed it while watching it, and then it was done. I had no clue that the second one was out until we were on Netflix, and there it was. I was like, oh, well, this has just randomly come out. They're not doing a third part, are they? I mean, I haven't finished the second one yet.
I don't know. I suppose it's open-ended enough to make a third one, especially considering how the first episode
Is it Zack Snyder?
finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, there won't be a third one. There'll be a first one called the Zack Snyder cut. It'll be black and white, and a few extra hours added to it.
It might look good in black and white, to be fair.
It might.
Yeah, who knows? But it's interesting you say about, is this Star Wars? Because, you know, when Rob's seen, I don't know if you've seen it, The Creator.
No.
Oh,
Really
dude.
good. Loved it. Absolutely phenomenal film. Tugs the heartstrings at point. It's just
I cried, yeah.
so good. But when I saw all the adverts for it, all I was thinking is, well, you know how they did Rogue One, a Star Wars story? Is The Creator a Star Wars story as well? Because it looked so much like the modern Star Wars, how they've done the modern Star Wars, and the design of it was just all so familiar.
Yeah, I mean, the Creator is just, and that is top tier sci-fi. It's such a good movie. I don't know how critically acclaimed it was, but you know, we don't ever follow that stuff anyway. But yeah, I never thought I'd blubber at a CGI character, and there I was, just crying my eyes out at a robot.
The one that I hated was the bomb bots.
Yeah, they were.
So
yeah.
no, no, don't.
Yeah,
don't
let's not
blow
ruin it
yourself
for
up.
Karen.
No.
That can be Karen's homework. She's going to go and watch The Creator. I don't know what is it on Disney.
It's a Disney Plus. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Disney Plus, so it's on there. Yeah, that's a super duper one.
And that's the end of the Untitled Trek Show.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning into the Lower Deck special.
Last week we talked about the Orville. This week we talked about everything else but Star Trek.
Enter authorization code.
So, as I just mentioned, this is the Lower Deck special. And as you're all aware, Paramount have come out and said that season 5 will be the last season. Boo. Boo. Piss. Boo. So, I know that we said on the last episode that we were going to do a question episode. If anybody listened after the credits, which I always tell you to do, until you hear that beep, it's not over. Voiceover man, Valencio is actually the voiceover man's name, and he's had his name. He had a little name drop in the short that you would have heard at the start of this episode. He would have told you that actually it was Lower Deck special this time round. So here we are. We have an interview coming up later in the show with some of the people who are running the Facebook group for Save the Lower Decks. So we'll pop that in later. But for now, Karen, Tom,
Rob.
tell me what you like about Lower Decks. What is so cool about Lower Decks that we're like, oh, we're really sad?
Well, you know what, Karen, she never stops talking in this show, so let's let Karen go first.
To
Are you
edit
sure?
Karen out, it's such a nightmare. It's just so much
You're
audio
such
tracks to do.
bastards. I love everything about Lower Decks. I love the fact that it's animated, and that gives the show producers so much, I don't know, leeway and scope to go with any storyline they want. It doesn't matter how good your CGI special effects are. You know, there are just limitations to using real life human beings in a live action recorded, filmed anything. And you can, you know, the universe is your oyster with animation. You can draw whatever comes into your imagination. There's no holds barred, no limits. Yeah. And also it's very, very funny.
Yeah, that helps, doesn't it? I mean, it, as I mentioned in the interview later, it really rekindled my love for Star Trek. In particular, we'll get onto favourite episodes later, but the Tuvix episode, which is season 4, episode 1, I don't know if you've been able to see season 4, Karen, or not, but it's a
I have
Voyager
seen
episode.
season 4, yeah. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure
but-
I've seen season 4.
And I only say that because I got super confused earlier when I went to watch it, and I didn't realise I was on Amazon Prime, and it kept trying to get me to pay. I'm not paying. Have they just taken Lower Decks away from me? What's happening? I nearly text you saying like, why the fucking hell can't I watch Lower Decks? And then I was like, oh, I'm on Amazon. I'm not on the right one. I'm not on the right app.
But it was on Amazon.
It
Like
was
I watched
originally, it was
season 1
Prime.
and 2 on Amazon Prime.
That's
and
where I
then
watched it too, yeah.
I think season 3 it might have gone over to Paramount Plus. So.
It did.
Was that when they released their app, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just all of it's just the guys who write that, they really love Star Trek. You can just tell in every single moment of that show, it's just written, drawn, acted with pure love for the entire universe. And you just know that, or at least the impression you get, is that they don't just have like a dictionary next to them, the Star Trek encyclopedia. They've watched them. They know what people like, what people find funny, all the little niche memes on Star Trek, and it's all in there. And every episode they seem to manage to get something in. You go, and you're just like, I mean, it was really like the Lower Decks episode where they've got Deep Space Nine in it made me want to watch Deep Space Nine, which isn't something I normally want to do. But as I said, yeah, that Voyager one really was just like, oh, this is just pure class, this stuff.
Yeah, and you know what? For me, it was, other than the fact it was something new, which I'm always really wary of, especially when it's a franchise that I love as much as Trek. But Lower Decks kind of came in and it was just so new and unusual and then funny, and it had characters that you genuinely adhere to and start to really like and want to be part of what's going on. You want to be a Lower Decker yourself in it. I just fell in love with it immediately. And like Karen was saying, the ability of it to go anywhere it wants being animated meant that they could go a little bit crazy. I mean, you could imagine a Moopsie appearing in Discovery. They wouldn't call it a Moopsie because Discovery wouldn't dare call something as silly as a Moopsie a Moopsie.
Yeah.
And in fact, they did. They had the weird alien, didn't they, that was living in the captain's quarters in season 1. But the ability to just be silly with it and really go comedic slapstick with it as well just took it to a different level. And then going with what you were saying, Rob, with the fact that they obviously aren't just writing what they're told and have a general idea about Star Trek. The fact that you get the idea that they love Star Trek, and it just all molds itself into that perfect cacophony of good Trek. As rude and as funny as it is, it's still Trek in its kind of genetics. It's still exactly what you want from Trek, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
And what's great about it, when they did that crossover episode, didn't they, with Strange New Worlds?
Fantastic.
Have you seen it,
It's
Karen?
brilliant, yeah.
It's
brilliant.
Tom and I were really worried that when the characters moved over to Strange, they were going to like call out on the whole thing being a cartoon and like an alternate universe and just really kind of, excuse me, play down Lower Decks. But they didn't. They were just like, they made a joke, didn't they? Go, oh, everything looks so real or something. There was like a little joke, and then that was it. And it just kind of left you with the understanding of that Lower Decks is canon. This dumbass world that they're caricaturing a lot of it, but it's in the same universe as all the other stuff.
100%. And the confusion from the Strange New Worlds team, who, bearing in mind with the age of the Enterprise and the age of the Federation at that point, they wouldn't really have Lower Decks because everyone was kind of in the same boat, weren't they? Except for the captain having a nice quarters. Everyone was kind of in that boat of the Lower Decks at that point. So the idea that there's this entire group of people that call themselves the Lower Deckers, it just absolutely brilliant. It just worked so well.
Yeah, that episode in particular was it? It was a Strange New World episode, wasn't it?
It was a Strange New Worlds episode. Yeah. I'm going to say it was
'cause I
either
think
episode 2 or 3 of the last season.
Yeah, I'm sure in the Lower Decks they made a little comment about it in a turbo lift or something, didn't they? They were like, oh, we're not meant to talk about that. And then that was kind of like,
yeah,
that was like, yeah, it's brilliant. So what do you have, like a favourite episode, do you think? Or was there like an episode, maybe not so much you got favourites, but one that you like to go back and watch, or you quote from more than others, or when you think, you're trying to introduce somebody into watching it, what's the one you go watch this one?
Are you asking Tom or me?
Either of you.
Okay, and you go first, Karen.
Are we going with the same round robin? Favourite episodes. So I'm not going to be able to sit here and say, oh, season 1, episode 3, blah 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 blah, because I've only ever watched all of them through once. I don't have Paramount Plus, so if I want to watch them, I need to go to somebody else's house, which is just that. I don't know. I mean, following the whole team, Mariner, Boimler, Tendi, everyone else go through their trials and tribulations, the processes of growing into themselves as people and characters. I find that really interesting. But I think maybe the episode where Boimler is first in charge of an away mission and he goes into like mad panic because he's worried about being in charge, but he's excited about being in charge. But then when he gets to the planet and all hell starts breaking loose, he has to do everything because he doesn't want anyone else to get hurt. He doesn't want someone else to lose their life and it be his responsibility. And I think, is it Mariner that gives him a bit of a slap around the face in the end and just says to him, look, you need to delegate, you need to do this, and you're not going to get out of this situation if you don't work as a team. And, that scenario could happen to any of us in any day in our lives. We don't have to be watching lava fall out of the sky and be worried about carrying battery canisters or whatever it was he was carrying. I can't remember now. I'm so sorry. But
that's the episode where they're racing against the other lower deckers, and turns out those lower deckers are actually
envious
in awe of the Cerritos instead.
Yeah, the Cerritos, like the coolest ship in the game.
Yeah.
That is a really good episode.
Yeah,
the lackey that's always up what's his face's arse basically gets kind of hit by one of the orbs they drop, doesn't he? And he gets just everything goes wrong at that point.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think watching him grow into more than just the nervous Boimler that we're all used to seeing, and the character growth in that, and him developing a bit of confidence in himself and his ability to trust people he's working with that may not be Mariner on the day. That's one that sticks with me. But Moopsie I will forever love.
Yeah, Moopsie's great. That I've got that on my list. I can tell you that's season 4, episode 2. I think it's something. Is it called "I Have No Bones But I Walk" or something like that? I have no bones, something. Yeah, that's the zoo one with the Moopsie. That's a really good one.
Well, that's the one we saw on the big screen.
It was, yeah. Well, we saw episode 1 and 2, season 4, which I've got them both down as my favourite ones because I think maybe it helped that we saw it together on that big screen. But yeah, episode 1 of season 4 is the Tuvix one. And it just, again, it has a normal chat at the beginning, but after the intro, it's got Boimler emptying the holodeck canisters, and he drops one. And he gets covered in green gunk all over his leg. It's just like those little things. I love them. And there they get to go to the Voyager, and they're like Mariner's like really like overexcited on the bridge about it, and it's just like toning herself down. Oh no, yeah. And even though everywhere they're walking around and they're going on about Neelix cheese, and one of them says it smells like the Borg on the ship. You got the Orchid and the Newts, the holodeck characters walking around.
All the little bits they've kind of thrown into it.
Yeah.
It just makes the episode.
Yeah, I mean, Voyager, everyone knows Voyager's but like basically my favourite one. So to have a whole episode of, well, my favourite one before Lower Decks. So to have my current favourite Star Trek doing a dedicated episode to my previous favourite Star Trek, that was great for me. And obviously, yeah, as we said, the Moopsy one's brilliant. There's also season 2, episode 9. I don't know how to pronounce this. Wedge Dudge is what the episode's called. WEJDUJ. It's the Bridge Buddy one.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember that, where Boimler's going around trying to get a new bridge buddy, but it goes and shows you the lower decks on the Klingon ships, and it goes to the lower decks on the Vulcan one, and then that other race, I don't know what their names are, the dumb ones who just steal everyone's tech.
Packlet?
Yeah, the
Packlids. And then it ends in the credits on the Borg lower decks, and it's just four characters just charging up on the wall. Yeah, that's a really good one. I enjoyed that one.
For me, it's season 2, episode 8.
All right. I'm the only one who didn't do my homework. Thanks for making me feel welcome.
This is why you get muted.
It's got to be I Excretus for me, just because the amount of Trek they squeeze into that episode, the constant failing of all of Lower Decks, just to failing all of the tasks that have been set of them. Then you've got Boimler succeeding, and just, I converted the Borg Queen. I've done all of this, and you want me to go again? Now you want me to lose? It's just, it's just such a... what's the best way of just... It takes all of the really kind of deep dive Trek bits that people will remember from TNG, from Deep Space Nine, from everything really, and it just puts them into that one episode. And I've just was 100% there for it, and I've gone back and watched it 3 or 4 times now, and it gets better every time I watch it, because yet again something else pops up that I just didn't spot before. And then you've got Shax and Tiana at some point basically having sex in the corridor or coming out into the corridor, and it's just like, oh yeah, I forgot those two are kinky together.
It is the Trekkiest episode, definitely.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I think this is a good opportunity that we should insert the interview here. Karen, do a noise. Do a noise.
Accessing library computer data.
I'm starting, aren't I? I did that on purpose, sorry. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first interview of the Untitled Trek Show. And with us, we have our usual Karen, who's always here all the time. Hello, Karen.
Hiya, I've been here all the time. You just haven't been recording me.
Yeah. And Tom. Hello, Tom.
Hello.
Tom had to be here, unfortunately. It's a shame, really, but there we are. And we have a lovely guest here with us today from the Save the Lower Decks campaign on Facebook, and I'm sure other places that we hear about. Ben, how are you doing, Ben?
Oh, I'm doing well.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome, our pleasure.
So, we handing the ropes over to Karen for this bit?
Yeah, go on, Karen.
Okay, all right. My first big interview.
No, you always do all the talking, Karen. We can never shut you up.
All right. Look, I can say what I want, because up until now no one has heard a word that I've said. So I can pretend I never get a say. It's fine.
Don't worry,
right?
Rob. I've got the power of the mute button. If we need to, we can cut her off.
Oh, brilliant.
So mean. Oh, well, anyway, so Rob has introduced everybody. Thank you very much. Ben, as I've said already, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. I came across you guys randomly on Facebook whilst doing the usual, can I find more Star Trek stuff to talk about and read about and just enjoy? And discovered the Save Lower Decks campaign. Most people that follow Trek know that Paramount have made what, in my personal humble opinion, is a dreadful decision.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
Boo, hiss, boo. To cancel Lower Decks after season 5 is complete. I think that's the current news.
Yeah, I think so.
So, Ben, you and a group of like-minded people have gotten together and started this campaign. So, tell us a bit about yourself and what your aims and hopes are.
Sure. I'm Ben. Bleh. Wow. Just as soon as it comes to me, I just.
Don't worry, man.
No. So, yeah, we are like, a lot of us didn't even know each other before this, and we just kind of all formed together with the single goal in mind of trying to save Lower Decks. It's funny because originally I found them because I started doing, I went to a Star Trek convention. It was DNI-Con in Philadelphia, and Kate McRule was there, and she was on stage and mentioned about how Prodigy got saved, and it was due to like part of it was there was a campaign where people raised funds to hire a pilot to fly a banner over top of like the major streaming studios that said "Save Prodigy," save Star Trek Prodigy, and with
just going to stop you there. They've saved Prodigy, as I've completely missed that news then. I know it was cancelled, and it was a really disappointing cancel, and I must show Rob it at some point, because it was, again, brilliant animated Trek that made it, just like normal Trek, open to everyone, except this time, little people as well. And it had so much going for it, and to hear it was cancelled, it was disgusting. But you're saying it's been saved now?
Yes, Netflix bought it.
Winner.
And it happened 2 weeks after the banner flew over their headquarters, and I was trying to do it on my own. I started trying to a fundraiser, but it wasn't getting much traction. But then these guys, the group approached me, invited me in, and we were gonna do that. But then we saw Brandon Williams from is the director of season 5 of Lower Decks, posted online saying, "Hey, why don't all the fans get together, hire all the Star Trek actors on Cameo, and do a supercut of all of them doing the Lower Decks chant?" And then like literally we just completely shifted gears, and that found a lot of traction, and we started raising money for it. And you know, we're also doing other things from that. Like we've been doing watch parties where we've had people in the group all at the same time watching Lower Decks to kind of boost their numbers. And I think, in fact, we actually caused the Paramount servers to crash twice, which was kind of awesome.
That's very cool.
It wasn't intended, but you know, we just want to show Paramount that like people really care about this show and love it, because it's like it was intended for 7 seasons or more is what they had suggested. So, you know, to see it go without a proper ending is sad for me. So
yeah.
So we're just trying to you know, keep it alive as well as we can. And there's also been a history of Star Trek shows being saved by fan campaigns, like the original series. Like season 3 was brought back from a fan campaign, and then we saw Prodigy, and now we're trying to do that with Lower Decks. And I see some hope, but you know, we'll have to see if our efforts pay off or not.
See, the biggest thing I don't understand about all of this is literally last year, Rob and I got hold of tickets to go and see the Lower Decks season 3 premiere that they hosted across the world, several cinemas in big cities. Go and see the first 2 episodes, go and see an old episode and what's coming up. And the love in that room was massive, and the excitement, and there were Paramount people there that could see that. And just for them to kind of completely kind of ignore that, walk away and go, yeah, there's probably not enough love for it, really. It baffles me. Absolutely baffles me.
You know, they were filming it too, weren't they? I had photographers there, they were filming it, and it was a fairly decent-sized screen full of people, everyone chanting Lower Decks. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Maybe it's all those bags of goodies that have made the franchise bust.
Yeah,
you know, all those enamel pin badges you all walked home with for free.
Yeah, oops, possibly. It's our fault. Sorry, Ben.
Rob and Tom have ended Lower Decks. There's the news.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think is the real reason why Paramount are dropping Lower Decks?
I can only really speculate, but I think that it's because Paramount's losing money right now, and I think Paramount Plus is not doing particularly well, and I know they're trying to sell to Sony and Apollo. I think they're planning on breaking up. I think I saw Paramount, CBS, and Paramount Plus. I don't know the exact business plan that they're trying to do, but I don't know. I kind of feel like Star Trek is like a little bit in trouble. It seems like because we're losing Discovery, and that,
Yeah.
we almost lost Prodigy, and now it's probably like potentially Lower Decks. So I don't know what the future is for Star Trek at this point, because we just have Strange New Worlds, and then I guess we do have Starfleet Academy coming eventually.
Yeah.
And then I think there's I'm not sure if it's still a movie, that was it Section 31 movie?
Oh yeah, with Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
No, wrong name. No, right name.
Yeah, that is the right name.
No.
It's unlike me to pull a name out like that and actually be correct. So I
they all-
doubted myself.
They're all spin-offs from Discovery, though, right? Is that right? The Michelle Yeoh one's going to be a Discovery one, and
I don't know the premise of Starfleet Academy other than it's probably going to involve new recruits.
Yeah.
Red Squad.
It'll be a new generation of Starfleet Academy members, won't it, that we're going to follow up through whatever they choose to do, whether it's going to be in the kin of Wesley at Starfleet Academy, or are they going to go future for the Discovery? I'm not entirely sure. I've not seen much on it. It's been a bit of a quietly talked about thing. I don't think it's really kind of had much impetus put behind it yet. But it does seem, you're right, we do seem to be running out of Trek, which is a concern. Now, obviously, everyone here is a Trek fan, and we know how much comfort it can be in sitting yourself down and watching an episode from one of the many seasons of the many Trek iterations that exist. I mean, for me, as we've discussed on the podcast before, my safe space is The Next Generation. I could watch that over and over again. If I'm having a bad mental health day and I just need to watch something that A, I know what's going to happen, and B, I enjoy, and C, makes me feel safe, I'll put on The Next Generation. I'll put something on from season 5 and sit back and just veg out to it. It just feels like the current generations especially are missing out. They've had Discovery, which was very different Trek to what we'd had before. The closest thing I can think of, and again, feel free to disagree with that, is Discovery felt very much like a progression of where Deep Space Nine was going. It was a very different form of Trek than we were used to with the original series and The Next Generation. It was much darker, much grittier, whereas Discovery tried to do that and took it that leap forward. But yeah, saving Prodigy was a brilliant step, but losing Lower Decks, which I know several people that have said this is the best Trek we've had to date, because it's just fun and it's something we can lose ourselves in, and we've got an entire character base that we really like. I don't know what they're going to do if they do keep on canning shows like this.
Have you been approached by anyone involved with the show?
I think someone in the group did get a message from Brandon Williams. I can't remember what that was, but no, we haven't been approached by any of the actors yet. But I did I did kind of like poke at them on Facebook a little bit, like Jonathan Frakes and Tim Russ, because we got like to a point where I was like trying to come up with something to help share the fundraising, kind of joke a little bit, and I was like, oh, we have enough money now to hire one Jonathan Frakes and like half a Tim Russ. And I like tagged them, and it was kind of funny because I don't want to tag all of them and be kind of like desperate to talk to them, but I thought that'd just be kind of a little funny joke to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's been interesting as well. When I found out about this, I sent it straight on to Rob. In fact, I think, Rob, you sent it to me first, actually. Several of the main voice actors from Lower Decks were straight onto Twitter saying it's been a great ride, we're so proud of what we've made. But then they all ended their tweets saying, we don't understand why this is happening. So
yeah,
it would be amazing to get them on board, because obviously they're keen to kind of move forward with it and keep it going from the sound of it, because they've obviously developed a love for the characters that they've gone and, well, they've worked hard on creating.
Yeah,
absolutely. Hi, sorry, I'm just going to say Nick has joined us, another fellow Save Lower Decks. Nick, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sorry, no, I've been listening in, and I've been contributing, but apparently I wasn't actually a part of the conversation. No, my name is Nick. I'm the admin and owner of the Save Lower Decks Facebook group. I created it to be a little staging area where fans can come together, get on the same page, collaborate, corroborate, and get season 6 going, because we don't need to stop at 5.
Love it.
100%. Realistically, here's a question. It's not on our sheet, so feel free to go, oh no, we aren't worth. But how far do you think Lower Decks could actually go?
I honestly, I don't want to put a number on it, but it's a show that almost, it's like it really makes fun of its own IP, and so it can tap into any of the existing series, which is it's done numerous times. And there's really infinite possibilities. You can follow Boimler, Mariner, and the crew throughout their career. You can hop to other ships, other California-class vessels. There's so many different things that you could do with it, and you could make it last as long or as little as you want. Cartoons, I know animation is not exactly the cheapest thing to produce, but it's relatively easy compared to something like Discovery with your big CG, all of that extra time and effort that goes into post-production with a live action Star Trek show. So I think the sky is really the limit on what they can achieve with it.
Yeah, and then also I kind of want to mention, it's a lot of these shows, they're getting 10 episode seasons. Star Trek used to be almost 26 episodes,
24 episodes a season.
24
I think
to 26
DS9 was something like that.
Yeah, they used to very much follow what we term the American seasons, which is in the UK when we have a series, because we refuse to use the word season for some reason, when we have a TV series, it's 6 episodes, 8 if you're lucky. But when you look at the majority of the 80s and the 90s TV seasons that have come over from America over here, 24 episodes is fairly standard, or a handful more on top of it. And going with what you were saying, Nick, as well, with it being animation, you're right, there's absolutely no end really, except for killing all the cast off. You could go massively, couldn't you? There's every story under the sun. I'm guessing you guys have watched the original series, the animated series.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal.
A little bit.
It's absolutely phenomenal. The storylines they did that they could never have done in real life back in the late 60s, early 70s. It just worked so well, and this is why Lower Decks works so well. You could do anything you so desire because it's animated. It's just the ideas that are needed, and I feel the writing team definitely had it. But sorry, that was a random question completely out of the left field there. So I'll let Karen go on to the next one.
Oh God, I don't even know where we are with the questions, boys. Honestly, we're out of sync. You'll have to cut that bit. You'll have to cut that bit.
We don't cut anything.
So yes, you never cut anything of mine unless, I beg you to. No, actually, you never cut anything of mine. That's a lie. Oh dear. So, what do we think the end goal is for the campaign? Where do you want to? I mean, Nick, you said it'd be great to have more seasons, and TJ's just said, where do you see, Lower Decks go in the future? But dream case scenario, end goal for the campaign. Who would you love to have on the campaign with you to back you up? Where do you want to end it? Where can you sign the dotted line and say, tick, we did a good job?
Yeah, so the end goal is it's more show. The cast, crew, showrunners, they've all said, this wasn't the natural end that they had in mind for the show. And so really at the very least, just getting it to play out to that, whatever that means. Maybe they had 7 seasons in mind. Maybe they had 10. I don't know. But at the very least, just getting the story that was meant to be told, the ability to be told, would be the ideal end goal. I'm pretty greedy, so I'll take 17 seasons in a Moopsie if I can get it.
Snap.
But at the very least, just the story that Mike had in mind, and it's just something that the cast and the crew, they love doing it, they love making it. We as the audience love watching it. So it seems pretty. I understand they got some business woes going on over at Paramount Plus, but it's the 21st century. It's 2024. I feel like that's just too easy for us to figure out an alternative. All right, so who needs to get paid and who needs to be paying? We'll figure it out, make it happen, and let's get more seasons going.
Yeah, I also think like even myself for like part of this goal like I have like a separate but similar goal is that I kind of just like want this to stop, the cancellations of Star Trek shows. Like I think that that this going forward, like in a way is a way of like instructing, like showing Paramount that we care, and that, like, because we lost, as I was saying earlier, we lost Discovery, Prodigy was almost lost, but like I just kind of think it needs to like stop here, and they need to complete stuff, and
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my mic cut off when you were doing a lot, so I couldn't hear anything. Lower Decks is like the best Star Trek that's been out for me for ages, and it really rekindled my love for the whole series of Star Trek stuff. It's one of the reasons why we started the Untitled Trek Show, was because TJ introduced me to Lower Decks, and I'd been ignoring it for ages. It was like, oh, it's just brushing it off as just like a cartoon. It's just cartoon. I'm not going to be interested. It must be for kids. And then, TJ was like, no, you've got to watch this. And it's so amazing. I'm so absolutely gutted that this potentially could be happening. And it's really guys like you, Nick, and creating the page, and you, Ben, as well, you coming and joining in and being a spokesperson and helping Nick out. We need more people like you two to push these kind of things forward, and we'll help where we can, but we just want it to keep going, like you said, Nick.
No, for sure. And back to what Baron had mentioned about people we'd want supporting. Right now we're hitting the glass ceiling for our reach across Facebook. I think we've about tapped the Star Trek groups in there. Not to say that there aren't more people that could come and join from those groups, but I mean, like, the message is out there. People on Facebook know. Now we're trying to break that bubble, get into like the Twitter space, Instagram, YouTube, and these other social media spaces, because as we can see with this upcoming watch party on the 25th, I don't know if you guys have seen that, any promotions for that come out yet, but there's one being run by the Trek Alliance. It's going to be on the 25th, but yeah, they're pushing that all over Twitter. And it seems there's just like slight miscommunications between fans over on Twitter and over on Facebook, and then over on YouTube, they're saying one thing and then Twitter's saying another. And so we're kind of just trying to burst that bubble, get onto those other social media outlets, get people coming back towards the group, so that way we can get on the same page. So that way we're saying the same thing instead of doing like 10 different things and none of them actually working.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The cohesive message is definitely the ideal way forward, isn't it? If you can get everyone speaking the same words, then no one's going to hear the wrong information.
The petitions they're a perfect example of that, because I don't even know how many petitions floating around out there for Save Lower Decks. And I know, like, at the beginning of the group, that was pretty much our main focus, was figuring out the petition mess, and we only sort of figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just having, we have, 10,000 signatures on this one over here, 6,000 on this one over here, 4,000 on that one over there. And then you have those little smaller ones of a few hundred sprinkled throughout. And so just getting everybody on one petition, getting everybody, on, one group collective fandom effort of trying to, because I think we're all saying the same thing. We're just not saying it at the same time. So it's not having as much impact.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Okay. Well, thank you both for joining us. It's been great speaking to you both. Where can people find you to join in with the campaign if they want to, and where can they find you both to speak to you?
For Facebook is Save Lower Decks. One word, no space, just like the hashtag Save Lower Decks on Facebook. And then I'll let Ben tell you about the Twitter.
Yeah, on Twitter it's at More Moopsy, but it's spelled MOAR Moopsy.
like it. Well, what we'll also do, have you guys got any artwork that you're using at the moment to advertise the Save Lower Decks? Because if you do, what we'll do is we'll put an advert up on channel84.co.uk as well, which is our blog front and kind of production front that everyone can find everything about us, and that way anyone we push that way will also see it. So please share that with us, and anyone that needs to go to those links that can't find them, our main site will have the link as well.
We have a basically Badgie has kind of become our like unofficial mascot that we've turned
He
into
really has.
so many different things like we have like Netflixy, Watchy, I might
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. Yeah, like we're just
Speaking of which, can I do a quick shameless plug on that on our GoFundMe that we got going?
100%.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so GoFundMe, we've kind of plateaued. We've been stuck at 1,600 for a little bit. I want to see that getting some more movement, some more speed. I know we touched on it earlier. The director Brandon's idea of getting that video. That video is going to be the bat signal for the fandom, so that we can get everybody kind of looking in the same spot. We can get them pulled back towards the group, hopefully getting some updates and getting some real numbers behind these petitions and these other things. And we're waiting to finish this one so we can then do the Skyplane idea and fly it over Netflix, get their attention as well. But first, we need to get fans on the same page, because when Prodigy did their flyover, they had 33,000 signatures as well.
Wow.
They already had their petition, 33,000. They flew the plane, and a week later, it was saved. Like, yes, it was saved, but we still haven't heard anything about a season 3. So just keeping in mind that with 33,000 signatures, they moved to Netflix, but so far we don't really have any news on a new season coming. And as of right now, we only have like 6,000 signatures. So we're definitely going to want to start seeing about getting those numbers up, so that way when we are prepared and we do get that flyover set and ready to go, that we can hopefully at least match or beat that, and we can see more, not just them wanting to adopt Lower Decks over on another service, but continue the production into future seasons moving forward.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Speaking of Netflix, actually, sorry, just before we go, there's a link to suggest new shows for Netflix to pick up. I know that's going around social media. I've done my bit and put Lower Decks in 3 times for the 3 different options, just to make my point. But yeah, for anyone that's not aware of that, you can go onto Netflix and go onto their
do it every day.
shows.
Every day, once a day. It's a daily. Do it every single day.
Awesome.
Sounds
Brilliant.
good.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Vicky,
Thanks for
thanks
having
a lot.
us. This is great.
Thank you. Thank you
Our
for joining
pleasure.
us.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Good luck with the campaign.
Transfer complete.
So, continuing on, who is... We'll start with Tom this time, because we always start with Karen, so I think it's only right we start with Tom.
100%.
It's only fair.
We have spoke about this before. Your idea might have changed. Favourite character?
It has changed. Previously, I'm pretty sure I said Boimler, because I can kind of see a lot of myself in Boimler. But the more I look at it, it's a real toss-up between Shax or Dr. Tiana.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot choose between the 3 of them. If you said you have to get rid of a third, I'm almost tempted to get rid of Boimler, because just Shax gets just some absolutely fantastic lines throughout the entire series. And honestly, I'd quite happily be his baby bear. And Dr. Tiana's just... the absolute just not hatred she has for life, but the whole kind of how she is, just how she's portrayed, and how that character is, just a lot radiates with me from her as well. So you know what, I'll go with Dr. Tiana for this time.
Well,
She's the inner thoughts of doctors that we're never allowed to hear.
listen out.
Oh yes.
Listen out, because I have a character coming who is the ship's counsellor, and he is the same race as that doctor. So Tom and Mark, SideQuest Mark, who's going to be playing that character, are going to have some fun dealing with what would the counsellor be like if they had that same attitude.
Love it.
Am I going to have something like a portable kind of catnip spray to like sedate him?
I've only sent him a very draft kind of idea script of how I want him to play. He did then rewrite it and took a lot of swear words out, which I said, why you... I'll tell you exactly what I said, because it's the word he kept cutting out. I said, why are you not saying pussy? Because that's the word. That's the word he kept cutting out of the script.
I would not have expected that.
He didn't want to say it, I don't think. Bless him. He'll listen to this and tell me off now. So, Karen, do you have a favourite character or just
I do.
love them all?
No, well, I mean, obviously there's love for all of them, but Tendi is my girl.
Oh, yes.
100%. Like, she's a lean, mean, green, fighting, nerdy machine.
Yeah.
I mean...
If Rob didn't have a picture of T'Pau up on the wall, it would be Tendi.
Yeah. I've got this idea for a bit of seeing if she's got a cameo and paying to have her respond to Ensign Rob's emails as Tendi. But it's probably really expensive. I haven't looked yet. But that was my idea. Because we do mention that in the episode that people would have heard at the beginning of this. You guys haven't heard it yet. But talk about emailing her. And I'd like to know what her responses would be. I'm Tendi too. Particularly an episode in season 1 where she makes a dog. That's just so good. And that
doesn't it just go around devouring things and people, and
it reminded me of The Thing. That's the kind of vibe I got from it. And particularly right at the end, I've definitely said this on the show before, where they're like, dogs aren't like that. And she's like, what? She thought that's what a dog... It's like, I don't know what a dog is. I just made this. But she's just so happy all the time. Everything's great. Just is super clever. Just has like... the glass is... not half full, it's full. The glass is full. And she's just, I think that it's hard to have a bad scene with her in, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my opinion.
And apparently she is coming back for season 5, I read somewhere today. So I know she went off to be with the Orion Syndicate and be the queen of the... what is she? Winter...
Oh, yes.
I haven't finished season 4 yet.
Winter Constellation.
Yeah, I've got like one episode or 2 episodes left.
Oh, sorry, spoiler alert, Rob.
No, that's all right.
But she'll be in season 5.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they took anybody out, particularly those 4. I'd be very surprised. I mean, I was surprised that they killed off Jax, isn't it, in season 1. Luckily, they brought him back instantly.
Yeah, I love that. And it's like no one answers. Oh, no one asks that question.
Yeah.
No one questions it.
Well, was that because that was when he used to get like crazy because people asked him things.
Yeah, and that's the episode where they're in the pottery, aren't they?
Oh yeah. And they're all super offended, aren't they? They're all like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you asked him this."
I think that's the Bridge Buddies episode.
I think it is the Bridge Buddies episode.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
Command functions are offline.
Well, I think that's good. If you'd agree.
Oh, absolutely. I think the main point of this episode is save Lower Decks.
Yeah.
Other than what you've just heard in the interview, all 3 of us here save Lower Decks 100%, whether it's Netflix or another provider takes it over. Don't really care as long as it comes back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some thank yous. Thank you to you both for
thank you, Rob,
joining today, and thank you for joining your voices into the mess of the skit. Who else do I need to thank for the skit? Flower and Wolfie on the Discord. They've did a great job. Your old man Karen was in it too.
Admiral Chesters.
Yeah. Your old man plays Valencio. Did a great job there too.
Thank you very much.
I have asked for obviously this is recorded before the show comes out. Obviously, it's not live when you're hearing it. And I've asked for people to give me some chanting stuff for the protest you would have heard. At the moment, Drew Illusions, master of Twitch, is so far the only one who has sent me anything. So it could just be me tweaking his voice a lot if I don't get anyone else.
I'll get Ensign Court to send you some.
Yeah. But yeah, where you do this much better than me, TJ, where can people find us?
Okay, so if you would like to track us down and potentially murder us, then please don't. But if you would like to just talk to us on social media or via email, you can head over to channel84.co.uk, where you will find all our social links and all our email details. But those email details, in case you don't want to go to the webpage, are tj@channel84.co.uk to speak to me, rob at channel84.co.uk to speak to Rob, Patron Saint at channel84.co.uk to speak to Karen and send your complaints to that address as well. And then if you want to talk to Rob and me at the same time, you send it to podcasts at channel84.co.uk. We are on Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, I think I've said all of them. Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it now. We're on all of those, and we're also got a lovely community all over on Discord. And the easiest way is not find an invitation link, but go to channel84.co.uk/Discord, and that will take you straight there.
Karen, have you listened to the end of the variety show from the last episode?
Yes.
And what he says is one of your roles.
Oh, hang on a second. Hang on a second.
Because you haven't brought it up.
I'm very surprised you didn't bring it up.
Hang on, no, I've slept since then. I know I listened to it all because it was on the telly, and
no,
I was like, oh, it's gone
51st
quiet.
Dates, you go to sleep and you can't remember?
Yeah, it must be. Yeah. Oh my God. No, what's going on? What have I missed?
You go back and listen to it.
Oh, you're so mean.
Sorry, the wife just deposited me for some food.
Maybe I did know that
the
you'd said
microphone.
something and I just wasn't worried about it.
I don't even worry about it. I saw it there, so I was waiting for a message from you all day going, you can't say that. Like, some comment.
On it. Oh, we are talking the last...
It came out
came out
as
today.
recording came out
Oh, in that case, no, I have not listened to that yet because Adam and I listened to them together, even though we're in separate places. And normally we would settle down and listen to it at about 8 o'clock on a Monday. But no, I've not heard it yet. Oh, so I've got something to look forward to.
Yeah, bend over,
Maybe.
Oh, God.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you,
Thanks
Karen.
for warning.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for organising the interview for us.
Oh, you're welcome.
I think you probably wrote most of those questions. I don't think I wrote a single one.
No, I think TJ probably ploughed most
was
of
it,
that
TJ? Well, thank you, TJ. Thank you both for doing all the work for the podcast I'm supposed to be running.
Oh no, thank you for all the editing, the USS Shitshow that you do, all the scripts, getting all the sounds.
And
you do a lot more than the variety show does. So.
I really hope that one guy on YouTube loves the bullshit at the beginning.
Oh God, the bullshit.
I bet he cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing that person's message on the next one.
Something tells me that there might be a character that turns out to be wearing a red shirt and dies.
Yeah, maybe. We might have some
I
ideas.
can't die, I've got a name.
Yeah. Right, love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Thank you for listening to the Channel 84 Untitled Trek Show. This station is now shutting down and will be back in 2 weeks. Excelsior.
Rate us 10. Ba-ba-da-da-dee-dee-dee. Dee-dee-dum-ba-da-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-da-da-ba-dee.
Admiral,
Yes, what is it?
there has been a black level containment breach on the USS Shitshow.
Fucking hell. Incompetent little shits.
Oh
course, of course.
I'll get my drive spinning for you, baby.
You saucy little minx. Just wait until I get a load of that code. Meet me in my trailer in 5, yeah? Oh, ahem, excuse me. You didn't hear that, did you? Bollocks. Well, anyway, whatever. As usual, this bunch of Muppets can't do anything in one take, unlike me. Drew Lusions may be the master of Twitch, but I am the master of the one-take wonder. Now bugger off. I have an appointment with the ship's computer.
I noticed that you do always give me the complex words to say in series.
Because you're the clever one. That's the joke of the show is I'm the fucking idiot and you're the clever one. But your idiocy comes from being clever. Does that make sense?
Yep. Mandatory. After that incident with the gelatinized gloop becoming sentient when being exposed to Neelix's... Oh, for fuck's sake. You're such a cunt. Mandatory. After that incident with the gelatinized... I got it right as well.
You did so good the first time.
It's mandatory. After that incident with the gelatinized gloop becoming sentient when being exposed to Neelix's Alpha Quadrant worm surprise from the wet...
Just say the Neelix's Alpha Quadrant worm surprise. Hang on, I can't even remember my own fucking song. How does the Tenergy song go? That's it.
Excellent.
Thank you, Valencio. I get the point. I still stand by my triples for triples for teens is really hard to say. Longest one I could do.